Alrighty, it is the 19th episode. I actually checked before I started recording this time. It's the 19th episode of the Running My Mouth podcast. I am your host. We're just going to leave it at that this week. I am your host, Erin, and allow me to run my mouth for a little bit. So, I said on the Bird app on twitter.com, because that's what I'll keep calling it until it inevitably shuts down in the next 2 or so years, that I would have a lot to talk about this episode, mostly pertaining to music, and I do. But first, I have a smaller topic that I like to start off the show with. So, as you have probably noticed, if you spent any amount of time either watching my YouTube channel, my main channel, It's Just Erin, which you should be subscribed to if you're watching this and you aren't. Or at least just watching it. Honestly, I'm not really stunting subscriber numbers like that. I just want people to watch. But anyways, if you spent any amount of time watching my main YouTube channel or watching this here podcast episode, this is probably the 4th or 5th, I don't even know, episode of me wearing the same hoodie that I have. But I am not someone who is particularly adventurous with my clothing. And I know I had a whole section in maybe this is a couple of episodes ago for the New Year's episode of my goals for this year. And I think I said my primary goal was just to save more money, which it is still my primary goal. But I think my secondary goal might be to kind of switch up my wardrobe a little bit more, be a little bit more adventurous. A couple weeks ago, I had done this honestly months ago, and I never got around to actually doing it a couple weeks ago, but over the course of the last few months, I've been going through my wardrobe and just picking stuff out that I haven't worn in months or I have no desire to wear anymore, and just tossing it into a trash bag. And I've had that trash bag sitting in my bedroom for quite some time. But a couple of weeks ago, a few Saturdays ago, I finally tied up that little trash bag and took it to my local Goodwill so that it can go to someone who will hopefully continue to appreciate those garments. Because I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff that I've had them for a long time. It's just that, for whatever reason now, I just, don't really want to wear it anymore, just regular stuff. And so now I actually got rid of not a lot, but a decent amount of stuff in my wardrobe, particularly the stuff in my closet where my nicer clothes would be. Because I don't have a very big wardrobe. Again, you could probably tell, but all of my clothes can go into one 4-drawer dresser and my closet, which is not even full by any stretch of the imagination. It's not empty either, but it's definitely not full. So my closet went from being not full to being very much not full, and I've been trying to replenish that a little bit. And I've never, well, I will. I'm not gonna lie, I used to be part of the problem. I would watch all of those, Shein and Boohoo and Fashion Nova hauls that the girlies used to do back in the day, and honestly, they probably still do them. I don't know, I liked seeing people put on pretty clothes. What can I say? I would not, however, be participating in those hauls because, listen, if you've seen any one of those videos, these people are spending $200 to $500 on clothes that they're not gonna wear. I don't even know I don't even know what they do with them. I think for the most part, once they do, they end up spending $500 or so dollars, but they pick out the stuff they want to keep and send the rest back. So I guess it's not that bad, but still, all of that was kind of wild. I never had $500 hairs to be spending on clothes, and honestly, to this day, I still feel weird about spending a large amount of money on one single item when I could spend the same amount of money on a bunch of different items, usually when it comes to clothes. So I've never really had expensive tastes or anything like that. So, yesterday, what's today? Okay, today's Sunday. Wow, how did I forget? Weird. Yesterday, I made a trip to my local Ross Dress for Less, and I didn't buy a whole lot of stuff. Usually, my philosophy, not philosophy, my game plan, will say, when it comes to buying clothes is that I'll go through the racks, because like with a Ross, it's really a hodgepodge. You really gotta sort through everything to like find something, because I think the way that these stores work is that they bring in like some maybe like overstock inventory, or like I don't know, there's a name for it, I just don't know the name for it right now, that kind of inventory from like brands and stuff, and they just kind of put it up somewhere. It's not very organized. I mean, if you've ever been to a Ross or a TJ Maxx and like look through the racks, you'll know it's not really organized at all. Aside from size, usually it's organized by size, but I will say you'll have a lot of like random stuff in like random locations. So what I'll do is I'll go through the racks, I'll pick out a lot of stuff that I think looks interesting, and put it in my little cart. And then when I've gone through all the racks and picked out all the stuff I like, I will, I guess, kind of take inventory of what I have in my cart. Because I'm putting stuff in there knowing that I'm not going to be leaving the store with all of these garments. And I kind of whittle it down a little bit, take some stuff out that I don't really want, or I thought about it and I'm like, I don't know if I would enjoy wearing this, that kind of thing. And then I try some of this stuff on, and usually after trying things on, let's say I have, I don't know, 5 things, that usually brings it down to like 2. And then after that, I might do another round around the shop, but usually not. And that's how I like shop for clothes. Honestly, it's low-key kind of fun, because like I never know what I'm gonna find when I step into a Ross. Like obviously I know like the general idea of what might be in there, but I have some things that have been in my wardrobe that I've had literally since high school that I've gotten from Ross that I like still wear. Like I can find some gems in a Ross Dress for Less, okay? So I also went to the TJ Maxx, but by that time I think I was honestly like too tired to try to find anything. However, I think my primary goal for going to the Ross Dress for Less, which I am saying its full government name, was to, find more stuff for my wardrobe. However, one thing that I learned a very long time ago is that you can sometimes you can find Doc Martens in the Ross. And are they genuine? I'm pretty sure they are. Why are they in Ross? I don't know. And I will say I did find some when I went yesterday, but it was like it's not the styles that people like want to wear. Like the sandals, honestly, I might get a pair of those sandals like somewhere down the line, but at the same time, probably not, But just like the shoes that aren't their boots, you can find them at Ross. However, one day, many, many moons ago, I think I was about 15, I was in the Ross Dress for Less with my mom, because she is also an avid Ross shopper. She loves getting a deal. I too love getting a deal. However, what separates me from my mom is that my mom has some like legit, I won't say like designer stuff, but she has a lot of pricier items in her wardrobe, and I do not. Because number one, I don't really, it's not that I don't like that kind of stuff, it's just that, I don't know, to me, it almost feels like wasteful spending that much. But, now that I am older and I have more money, I do see the value in getting, wardrobe pieces that do cost a little bit more, because not only do they last a long time, but they are just generally like really nice, to like wear. So maybe, in the future when I'm in my rich auntie era, then I can delve into the designer fashions. But for right now, in my 20s era, in my 20s, probably not. But what was I saying? Oh, one day I was in Ross with my mom when I was 15, because back when I was, let's see, early, or let's say late elementary school to about when I was 15 years old, I had braces, because my teeth honestly weren't even that bad. I had an overbite that my dentist determined was severe enough for me to seek orthodontic help, and I ended up having braces in one form or another, from the age of like 10 or 11 to like 15. It was a while. So it was either 14 or 15 at this point. And being that I am from a small town, there was an orthodontist in my hometown, but for whatever reason, I think because my dentist was from like out of town, they referred us to an out of town orthodontist. Um, so we usually end up like me and my mom would usually end up kind of making a day out of it. So like if we were going out of town, obviously we'd have to hit up the Ross Dress for Less and the TJ Maxx, which I don't think TJ Maxx has like an elongated name, but that's neither here nor there. And one day, I'm there desperately hoping my mom like hurries up and like does her shopping. And I go into the shoe section of the Ross, and I'm like 90% sure it was a Ross. And I see these like big, tall, like platform boots that had like ribbons for laces. And I don't even know if Doc Martens even makes these anymore, but let me see. I'm gonna try to look them up. Ribbon, lace, Doc Martens. They were like the tall ones. I don't know. They were like tall, and I think they had maybe like flower embroidery on them or something. And they were definitely platform as well. Okay, so I'm not seeing the exact ones that I saw when I was there. But all that to say is that I saw these boots, and of course, little wannabe emo goth, etc., 15-year-old me was like, I need to have these boots. I don't even know how much they cost, to be completely honest, but I showed them to my mom and she was like, absolutely not. I am not buying you those shoes. No, you can't have them. And I was devastated. And honestly, ever since then, I've wanted to have a pair of Doc Martens. Maybe not like the ones that I saw, because those were definitely some. I can only compare them to like those. Gosh, I don't know the name of this brand, but there's, the goth brand that has like the really tall platform boots that are like either knee high or over the knee with like a 4-inch platform. They weren't that high, but that's what I could compare them to. And I wanted a pair of those ever since little baby Aaron was 15. And now I finally have some. So I kind of went through an ordeal trying to get a pair of Doc Martens because, I mean, like I've mentioned before, I don't really like spending a whole lot of money on like one single item, and Doc Martens cost like at minimum $100. So that was kind of what made me reluctant to buy them in the past, however long that I've had enough money to buy them. But my paycheck was kind of hitting this last Friday. I also got my bonus from work. My yearly bonus working for a corporation does have some perks sometimes, and one of those perks is the yearly bonus. However, I think our bonus structure is going to change after this year, so I don't know how long it's going to be hitting, but it was hitting this year. Not quite gotten to, tax refund check territory yet. Haven't done my taxes yet. I plan on doing so in the next few weeks. You guys don't need to know that. That was mostly for me. Anyways, so I was like, I got a little extra cash to throw around. I had tried to buy a pair. Well, I didn't try. I did buy a pair. I bought a pair, and they were, I think, like the standard size. It wasn't the 1460s or whatever the like standard one is. It was the one that had like slightly more platform than that. And I looked up online. I did a lot of research into what pair that I would want, and everywhere that I saw online about buying a pair of Doc Martens said that they run large. Okay, and I measured my foot. I got a little ruler. I measured my foot. I consulted the size chart, and it said I would be a size 5, which I think is like the smallest size that they carry. I have very small feet, always have. But anyways, I saw that according to, all of the resources that I consulted online, and Doc Marten's own resource being that, hey, the size of my foot means that I would be a size 5, when normally I wear a size 6 or maybe a 6.5, depending on the kind of shoe it is. Usually a size 6, so I thought, okay, I think a 5 will be fine. Me personally, I don't think I'm gonna like buy another pair of shoes unless it's like replacing a pair. So like if I get another pair of shell toe Adidas, I know exactly what size I am, because I'm on my second pair now, so it's like I wouldn't have to, I don't know, try them on in a store because I already know how they're gonna fit. But if I'm buying like a new pair of shoes, usually I like to go to a store and try them on. Um, but for some reason, for Doc Martens, this didn't occur to me. So I went off the size chart and the advice that I found online that they ran large, and I spent a not insignificant amount of money on a pair. Had them shipped here to my home, my domicile. Tried them on, and my foot wouldn't even go into the shoe. I think my feet are like slightly different sizes from one another because my what was it? My right foot I think could go in, but my left foot could not, which was a weird thing to find out that my feet are two different sizes, very slightly, but they were legitimately painful to walk around in when I did eventually squeeze my foot in there. And so I was thinking of all these possibilities because it was that top stitch. I don't know how to kind of, but basically where the tongue meets the shoe, that like, what is this, horizontal stitch in there that was causing the problems, because my foot did actually fit in there. Like when I managed to squeeze it in, it wasn't like too small or anything like that. It was just that top stitch, and I was like, okay, am I going to send these back, or am I going to, stuff some soup cans in there like I saw on the WikiHow, or am I gonna grab my seam ripper and like destroy these brand new pair of shoes? And thankfully, I thought, okay, I just gotta send them back. It's not my time yet to own these shoes. I have to send them back and get my money back. Because I spent like $180. That's a lot of money to no longer have, and also not have something in exchange for that. And I'm not gonna lie, that took like most of the month because I bought them in December, and I only just now got my money back like last Friday. So, it's been a while to get a refund for those, which is also why I don't really like buying things like that online, because if it does, turn out that it doesn't like fit, you have to wait so long to get a refund. And so now I finally got my refund back, got my little paycheck, got my little bonus, got a little extra cash. I thought, okay, there is a Journeys nearby. I do know for a fact that they sell Doc Martens because I looked on the website. I guess I'm just going to have to buy some in store. So I wasn't initially planning on buying any yesterday, but I kind of thought about it, and I was like, I'm already out. I'm already out and about at the Ross Dress for Less. I think today is the day that I go to the Journeys and try to buy a pair of Doc Martens. And that is what I did, dear watcher and or listener. However, I will say, if you're only watching the podcast, or no, if you're only listening to the podcast on the audio only version, which I know there are some people who do that. Shout out to you, whoever you are. But if you're only listening, you're only getting half the story. Now, I will say, this podcast, honestly, not super visual, but I am going out of my way to record it, so I would, you could at least watch a short. That would be cool. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I went to the Journeys, and I saw the large selection of docs that were there. And initially I thought, I might have to buy a pair of their Chelsea boots, because the way that their normal boots are stitched might mean that, I don't know, my foot is just shaped weird and I just won't be able to squeeze in there, even if I do size up, to my normal size, which is a 6. And so I thought, you know what, I don't really have to make a decision right away. I'm in the store now. I could just, grab a shoe, ask them for my right size, and then try it on, and try to compare the two, spend a little time thinking about it, because you can do that in the store. Surprise. But I thought I would do that instead. So I grabbed the Jaden boot, which is the one that zips up in the side, and the one that has like the two closer to 2.5, maybe 2 to 2.5 inches. I did measure it with my measuring tape, but I couldn't really tell. Anyways, I went with the 2-inch platform, which at first I thought, do I want the classic one that doesn't really have all that much platform? Because is buying, these platform boots, is that gonna be too audacious? Like, what if I rock up to work with like these tall platform boots on? What are the people going to think? And then I realized they didn't care. So I grabbed the Jadens. I asked the shop attendant, like, hey, can I have these in a 6? And they're like, sure. They got them. I tried them on. I tried one on at first, and I was like, oh, these actually fit. But then I remembered the last time I tried them on, my feet are apparently two different sizes. So I tried both of them on, and then I walked up to the little mirror, and I was like, oh, it is so over. It is so over. I'm getting these boots. And now I have them. All that to say, very long, very meandering story to say that I bought some clothes yesterday, and I also now have some Doc Martens, which I've wanted for a really long time. So I feel very happy about that. I'm gonna, spend some time breaking them in. I feel like now, I don't know. I don't know what I was about to say. Now I'm like more better. Oh Lord, not more better. I am more effectively, there we go, expressing myself through my clothing options. Because I got a few more garments yesterday that I think more reflect the style of clothes that I want to wear. Because honestly, I think 2024 might be the year that I commit to the bit of wearing either all black or mostly black, which, to be fair, I've already been doing that. I've been doing that for a while now. Cause like I don't, for a little bit I thought, oh man, is it like cliche or whatever that I dress in mostly black? And it's like maybe, but also I don't care. I like wearing primarily black. It literally goes with everything. I don't have to think too hard about pairing black with anything because I could just pair anything with it because it's black. It's like it's a blank slate essentially. You can pair anything with it. And I guess that the same would go for white. Or maybe not, actually. I don't think white really does go with everything, but I just don't really like wearing white. I don't even think my wedding dress is going to be white. Not that I'm getting married anytime soon, but when that does happen, like in the next 15 years, I don't even think my wedding dress is going to be white. I don't think it will be black, though. It's definitely going to be a bright color, and it's definitely not going to be white. So, yeah, I think, you know what? Looking good makes you feel good. And I looked good and I felt good wearing those boots. So I'm hoping, the inside will match the outside and vice versa with these honestly very simple clothing choices. So I'm legitimately pretty happy about that. I really like that. I own a pair of those boots now. Like I don't know. Might be really simple to some, but it's pretty big to me. Pretty major. Anyway, I just spent over 20 minutes talking about buying clothes and shoes, so we'll get to the main topics. I had an encounter. Well, okay, that sounds sinister. I don't know how to explain it other than I had an encounter. Let me rewind though. I've been to quite a few music shows locally here in the last couple of weeks since I recorded the last podcast episode. And last week, I went to see my uncles in Crypt Eater at, where were they at? Actually, no, I'm keeping that to myself. Never mind. Actually, no, I don't have to do that. I saw them, where was that? Because were they, hold on. No, I didn't see them. I saw a different band. Okay. This is, yeah. I don't think this would be last Friday. I think this would be 2 Fridays ago. There is a band called Before There Was Rosalind that I think might have been like kind of bigger back in the day, just given the fact that their last album was from, actually don't know. I know it's from maybe the 2000s. Hold on. I'm figuring it out. Actually, it's not important. Their last album came out a while ago, but now they're coming back, and they're also signed to Victory Records, which is for like a metalcore, that genre band, sort of a big record label. I mean, it's A Day to Remember's like previous record label, so I would say, that is major enough. And so I thought, why not go and see them? Also, not other than that, one of my other favorite local bands, Measureless Aeons, was performing alongside Before There Was Rosalind, so I made sure to show up because I think I have been to, aside from their very first one and any shows that they've had that have been outside of Jackson, I've been to basically every single Measureless Aeon show, which I just like them. I like their songs. And I don't know if they put out any music yet. I don't think they have, but I also haven't checked. And now would be a good time to check. So I'm gonna check. Measur. Yep, there they are. Let's see. What is that? That's not. Is that it? I don't think so. Hold on. Nope. 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 Hold on. Nope. Nope. I don't think they have. Let me see. I see a Facebook post here, but this is from 2017 and it's not them, so never mind. Okay, so they do not have any music out currently. So if you wanna hear one of their songs, that's too bad because you can't. Well, I won't say that. They might have some videos of them performing on Instagram. I'm gonna have to check. Let me see. I'm gonna have to look them up. MEAS. Oh, hold up. There we are. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, they don't have anything linked. So, or any, well, no, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 reels. And some of these are like practices and stuff. So, if you want to hear them, honestly, you know what? It's back in classical music times. If you wanted to hear a song, you gotta see it live. So it's it's basically the most DIY you can get. Where to listen to the music, you literally have to see them live. I can't remember. I don't know if I have any videos of. I've taken videos of them, obviously, when I've seen them, but I don't know if I've posted them online anywhere. Is a thing. So they're just gonna have to exist in your head as an idea for now. Also, I finally got a shirt from them, but it's in my drawer, so I don't feel like getting it. Actually, that's a lie. Yes, I do. Okay, so I did manage to finally get a shirt. They finally have some shirts printed. So if you do see them, buy a shirt. It really helps. But this is the shirt. You know, classic kind of black metal logo type of thing. It's not that unreadable. Like, you can make out that it says Measureless Aeons on there, and I do really like this design. I think right now they only have this in like black or white, but if you're at a show of theirs, purchase a shirt. They have them in black and white. I think that might have been the only merch that they had, but also I was only looking for a shirt, so I wasn't really paying attention to the other stuff that was on the merch table when I did buy this, because there was other stuff there from the other bands that were performing. But anyways, I was at the Before There Was Rosalind show. All that to say, and let's see, one of the bands, I think it might have been the first or the second that had gone on, right? They finish up their set. I'm standing there with my I standing there with my little cup of water, because if there is one thing I will do at the gig, it's stay hydrated. But I was standing there, you know, with my little cup of water, taking my earplugs out, and I feel a little tap on my shoulder, and I turn around, and this guy, you know, bends down, literally bends down to talk to me, and he says, "Your Uncle Punk video was the best thing I've ever seen." And I'm like, it's them! Oh my gosh! And I don't even know why I'm like so awestruck by this, because, you know, first of all, I mean, I had seen that they had seen the video because they commented on it, the podcast episode and the short, like weeks ago, probably a couple months ago by now. And so it's like, our scene is very small. It was really only a matter of time until I like bumped into them and they actually like noticed me and recognized me. But to actually have it happen, that was kind of a slay. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to them. Shout out to my uncles in Crypt Eater for being, period, for existing. And honestly, it was a really interesting encounter, because it's like, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the guitarists that talked to me, and he told me his name, and I completely forgot. I am so sorry. There is no guarantee that I will ever remember a name. I really apologize. I will never forget your face, but your name will take me up to a month to remember. So that's with everyone though. That's just my little braining, like it's not personal, but the one with the hand tattoos, the palm tattoos specifically, you know who you are. Okay. Um, but one thing that he said to me was like, it's really cool that you're doing this, I guess, talking about music and specifically talking about local music on my podcast and that, we need more of this. And I kind of thought about it. I'm like, man, I mean, he's kind of right. We do need more of this in a way, but gosh, that's a lot of pressure to put on me, who is one person. Like, am I gonna have to switch up my content to talk about music only? And then I thought about it. It was after the show, the next day, that I thought about it, and I was like, I already talk about music so much. I don't think I have to change anything. I think I just have to continue, you know? So, yeah. It was really nice having that happen. I'm not gonna lie. Um, probably not even probably, definitely the first time that I've had someone like in public that I've not technically previously met recognize me from something that I've done online. And I I had these little thoughts, like if I ever get recognized in public, I don't have to be nice, which I don't know why I ever thought that. If, you are a watcher of my YouTube channel or a listener slash watcher of this podcast and you do see me in public, because I guess that's something that's going to happen to me now, I will probably be nice to you. Like, I am not mean to strangers. Like, straight up, I'm not mean to strangers. That would be a weird thing to do. However, I cannot guarantee it won't be like a teeny weeny bit awkward. Like, am I would not consider myself to be a shy person anymore, but I still have some vestiges of shyness within me. So like sometimes I just don't know what to do or say. So like it might get a little bit awkward, just a teeny weeny bit, just the littlest amount. But if you do watch my podcast slash listen to my podcast, which if you're only listening to the podcast, you're only getting half the story. And you see me like at a show, which realistically that's like probably going to be one of the only places that you'll see me out and about, because I really just be inside. Like I am so indoors, not even these days, just like all the time. I am an indoors person. But if you ever do see me at a show, say hello. I will say hello back. I might make it a little weird. That's not on purpose though. It's just I just am like that, So that was a really great interaction that I had recently at a show. And I will say, this past weekend, not this weekend, like currently, because today's Sunday, but the weekend previous, I went to a show Friday night and Saturday night. And I don't know what was going on. I guess everyone was hyped up because now shows are happening again. We had a little break for Christmas and New Year's, and now we've got a lot more shows lined up these next couple of weeks. But the pits were going down like I have never seen such active pits before at any show that I've been to. Like, and I'm not talking about just like a couple of people, like, two-stepping by themselves, maybe knocking into each other. Because, I see a lot of that, obviously. There's always like one person doing that. But I'm talking about multi-person legit pits, okay? Because, like, when I saw Before There Was Rosalind, there were also a bunch of people there, more people that I've seen probably at any local show. The house is packed. I don't know what happened though, because by the time Before There Was Rosalind actually came on, it felt like half the people like left, which like, why would you do that? They missed out, by the way. They definitely missed out. If you have the chance to see Before There Was Rosalind, you should do it, because they're honestly so good live. And their music is also really good too. Like the recorded stuff is also pretty good. So you should check them out. They're pretty cool. I'm sad I didn't get a shirt though. I thought about buying a shirt, but I was like, oh man, I'm a little broke. My paycheck, it hadn't hit yet, so I'm like, I gotta save my money. But now I'm regretting that because now I want a shirt. Anyway, oh well, oopsie doopsie. You live and you learn. Also, they might be back because they've been here. They said at least one time last year, so I would imagine that sometime within the next year they might be back. And I also could probably buy a shirt online, now that I think about it. Now that I think about it, I could do that. But I don't know, so it hits different buying a shirt at a show versus like buying it online. Because it feels more like actively altruistic. Like, yes, I enjoyed your music. Now I'm going to give you some dollar bills, and you're going to give me that T-shirt, and we shall part ways. Um, Also, hold on. One thing that I always think is so weird. Like, I don't get it actually. No, I was about to say, like, oh, I get it, but no, I don't get it. So, in the last few shows that I've been at, I mean, all of them have been small. Like, all the venues, which I mean, the venues that I go to are really just like restaurants with like a side room, which honestly, the best places to be at. But they don't really have like a stage. It's usually literally like a rug that is the stage, and every single time these bands want me, not me personally, but me, the person watching, to be this close to them while they are performing. I don't want to get that close to you. Like, I do not want to be looking at you like this, okay, while you're singing. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm standing in the back, I'm clapping, and that's it. Do not ask me to get toe to toe with you. I'm not going to do it. I don't know why they always do that though. It's honestly kind of funny, just like the visual of like I'm it's strumming away on a guitar, and there's like a person within like elbows reach of me, like back up off me a little. If I'm up there and I'm performing, everybody has to give me like 10 feet. Everybody, you gotta get back. First of all, germs. Second of all, like, I get it. I'm performing. People are looking at me, but I don't want to know that people are looking at me. I want there to be some mystique there, okay? So, like, back up. Back up. Stop it. I can't. Anyways. Yeah, Before There's Awesome was really great. What I also found really funny is that the singer, I don't know his name. I never know these people's names. If I ever learn them, I forget them, and most of the time I never learn them, so I'm so sorry. But he managed to like crowd surf on a crowd of like 15 people. It was insane. I have the videos. I might make this into a short, I don't know yet, but it was definitely a sight to behold. I didn't put it in my compilation that I made last week because I made a little mini comp because I had, seen so many like really good bands last week. I wanted to like share with the world. But yeah, I should have though. Why didn't I put that in the compilation? Dang it. That would have been great. Anyways, you might or might not see it here. So yeah, but anyways, that was last Friday. I had that little heartwarming experience, which I was kind of expecting to like, see them at, their next performance, which was that next day, cuz they would actually be there. But again, the scene is so small that you really are going to be seeing like the same few people, um which is honestly so cool. Like, I've been seeing, some of the same people, and like we talk, and we're on a friendly basis, and it's like, it's great. I found my community. I'm so happy about that, and I love that. I don't know what else to say other than that. But anyways, the next day, that next Saturday, I went to see a little band out of New Orleans called Brat, which is a lady fronted band. I love a lady fronted band. And they were honestly so good. What I liked about them as well is that I haven't really seen this much from like smaller bands incorporating, I don't know what you call them other than like audio clips, but basically, the clips from like Y2K songs they'll put as intros to like some of their songs. And I haven't really listened to any of their music outside of literally seeing them live. I do know that they have that performance. I believe it's on YouTube. So if you want to see them, I guess actually I don't know if it's on YouTube now I think about it. But let's see. They're called Brat, Brat, which if you look up Brat Band, you should be able to find it. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. Yes. Okay. So yeah, Brat all caps. Oh, they have a few what do you call them? What do you call them? Music videos. Why can't I think of the word music video? Good lord. Let's see. Oh, I saw that they had posted the performance somewhere. Hold on YouTube. That's not. Well, I mean, you can find their live performances if you want. They are, around. But I swear I thought I saw. Anyways, it's not important. I really liked it. I liked all the other bands that were there as well. And yeah, I honestly had like legit great weekend last weekend. This weekend also great. Friday, this past Friday, I went to see a couple bands at a venue I hadn't yet been to, but I know they have like a lot of shows there and stuff. And since I am apparently the number one Measureless Aeons fan, I went there to see them. Where I finally got this shirt. And actually got to talk to I'm trying to think about what he would be. Let me, hold on. I'm trying to, lead? No. Rhythm? Maybe. Yes, the rhythm guitarist for Measureless Aeons, again, whose name I don't know. I'm so sorry. And I told him as I was like paying my cover, like I was a big fan, and he was like, "Oh, have you been to one of our shows before or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, the last 4." And he was like, "Oh, really?" Which I thought that was pretty funny. But shout out to them. Shout out to Measureless Aeons. One thing I was thinking about to say about them that I hadn't said is that kind of really sets them apart, I think, from a lot of the other bands around here, which no hate to them for what I'm about to say, for like the other bands, I mean. But when I had seen them for the first time, I had remembered, and I think I even said it on this podcast, like, oh yeah, finally, this venue has some better sound quality, sound design, sound engineering. What do you call it? Sound. It just sounds better at this venue, which I will say with a lot of these like smaller venues that are, restaurants first and music venues second, the sound can be really hit or miss, but usually it's like such a small room where you get all the sounds anyway, so it's like, I don't know, it's usually just really hit or miss. But what sets Measureless Aeons apart, for their live performances anyway, for me, is that each of their drums are individually mic'd, and that makes such a big difference. It really, you can really hear them. And like, I know it's not a feasible setup for like a lot of small bands, I should say, but I really think that sets them apart, So I really appreciate that they do that. I just wanted to say that. Who else did I see? Let's see, there is Guy with Nature, who I've seen before, which I think very much to me, I don't know if they would describe themselves as this, but it sounds to me like almost psychedelic metal, if you think about it, because I hear it and I think about the 60s. I don't know why. Just, I don't know. The instrumentation, which doesn't mean anything, but that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like more psychedelic-y type of metal, which I wouldn't really go out of my way to listen to psychedelic metal or psychedelic rock or anything like that, but I think it works. And I like it. And let's see, what was the other? Measureless Aeons, of course. I could just look at the thingy, my bob. Hold on. So I don't forget anyone, because I am forgetting someone. There's one band there that was from Little Rock, Arkansas, and they were called Direwolf. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little tired that Friday, because this past Friday, I had the longest day at work. I got into work at like 7:35, which is far earlier than I usually do, considering my start time is usually 9 o'clock, because I had like so much stuff to work on. I was doing some stuff solo that day at work that I normally wouldn't be, and I was like honestly just like mentally tired. So for basically all of Direwolf's set, I was just sitting down because I was just like, I'm tired. I was honestly thinking about going home, but I was like, you know what? I want to stick it out. I want to support the bands, but at the same time, I really want to sleep. So I was sitting down for most of Direwolf's set, but I could still hear them, and they were still good. I still liked them. And Beneath the Kudzu, which I think they are I don't know how like prominent they would be, but I've definitely heard of them previous to me starting to go to shows around here. So I think they're from Vicksburg. And honestly, a little thought popped into my pretty little head as, I was watching them perform, and I was like, they're from Vicksburg, right? And Burning Windsor, who is a band that I have made a video on my main channel, was also from Vicksburg. And for me anyways, there's a little bit of mystery there as to, like, where are they now? What happened to the band? That kind of thing, which is why my video ends on a very unsatisfying note, because there really just isn't any information about them. And I thought, like, okay, already the music scene here in Jackson is like microscopic. The music scene in Vicksburg is probably even smaller. So, like, what if they know someone who used to be in Burning Windsor? Like, I can ask them questions, I can interview them, or something like that. But I never ended up doing that because, again, so tired, wanted nothing more than to go lay down. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if I would have gotten what I was looking for, or really even knew what I was looking for in asking that. So it's probably for the best that I didn't. But anyway, but yeah, good little band, good little outing, good little venue. And yeah, those were the shows that I went to. However, there's one show that I will be going to in the next few months that I'm very much looking forward to. We gotta talk about it. It's the Amity Afflictions Let the Ocean Take Me 10-year anniversary tour. I saw that so randomly, by the way, because when I had seen that, so okay, I have an Android phone. Oops, I have an Android phone because I'm a brokey, I guess. And on Android phones, obviously they have Chrome pre-installed as the main, what do you call it, web browser. I'm forgetting words. That's weird. As the main web browser. So you can open up Chrome and you go to a new tab and you have like a discover section, and my discover section gives me a lot of stuff like local news, it gives me a lot of music news, it gives me stuff about cameras for some reason, it gives me stuff like that, articles I might be interested in. And the one that I saw at like 10 o'clock on, I think, Wednesday, like Wednesday night or something like that, it's either Tuesday or Wednesday night of like last week, was the Amity Affliction going on 10-year anniversary tour for Let the Ocean Take Me. And I was like, oh my goodness, because I would think I've kind of tried to do it in my head, and really I've only ever been able to like list out my top 3, but I think Let the Ocean Take Me by the Amity Affliction is, if not a top 10 favorite album of mine, maybe a top 15. And if it is top 15, then it might be number 11. Because, yeah, I don't know what would be like in the ranks. But anyways, I would consider that like one of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. So here I am sitting on my bed because it's 10 o'clock at night on this article, and I scroll down very tentatively trying to see the dates, and my heart leaps when I see that they're gonna be in New Orleans in May. However, it is in the middle of the week. But, I thought about it, and it's like, I really like this album. I would really love to see it played in full. I'm gonna do it. I don't care if it's in the middle of the week and I have to, take 2 full days off of work. I'm gonna do it. I have the time off. I'll definitely have the time off by May. And you know what? I'm a hard worker. I'm good at my job. And my boss always tells me that I deserve to take time off. And you know what? They're right. I do deserve to take time off. So I'm taking time off. And I'm going to see the Amity Affliction in New Orleans in May. And I'm going to be so happy when I do. And I'm not going to lie. Why am I... I can't believe I literally just said, this is my top 10 favorite album of all time. And now I'm like forgetting the names of tracks. Good God. I know it's called Give It All. Okay. I knew that before I saw it. But I'm not going to lie. When Give It All comes on, when they perform that and close out the show, I can't guarantee I won't cry. I can't guarantee that I won't shed a tear. I might be boohooing in the pit. You never know. you never know. You never know. You might see a video of your old pal Aaron embracing a stranger, crying, seeing the Amity Affliction perform Give It All live and in person. Now, I'm not one of those people, because, the Amity Affliction has this reputation amongst their fan base as being the band that saved their lives, that kind of thing. It's not that dramatic for me, but I will say, I do remember, listening to this album a lot, just, over the years, but also, particularly during like my last semester of college when things were just just hard, just really difficult for me my last semester of college. And, it was an album that I was listening to a lot at the time, and I won't lie, it did give me some comfort. So I guess in that way it does mean something to me. Did it save my life? My life was never in danger at that time, so I can't say that, but it does mean a lot to me, and I will be very, very happy to see them perform it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I I don't know. I I know I said like in a previous episode that there's probably going to be, only two bands that I would like buy a plane ticket for. And it still really is only those two now that I think about it. I'm not going to buy a plane ticket. I will, however, take off in the middle of the week. Definitely for the Amity Affliction. And honestly, if either Periphery or Invent Animate go on tour, during that time, I will pick one of them. Is that shady? Is that shady to say that I would pick one of them over the Amity Affliction for this, album that I literally just said meant a lot to me? Maybe. Oh well. I will be happy to see it. And also, with this one, Reddit really did come through. Reddit is a cesspool most of the time, but sometimes you get lucky. I got the pre-sale code from the Reddit thread that announced this tour, and I was able to buy the ticket like a day early. And I remember checking later in the day that it actually went on sale, and it was completely sold out. And I'm like, whoa, the girlies are coming out for the Amity Affliction. I can't wait to see it. Honestly, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to be seated. I will not be seated because it's standing room only, but you get what I mean. I will be seated, sitting pretty at the Amity Affliction, crying during Give It All, and probably hugging a stranger. I don't know. You never know what happens, And I will definitely be wearing my platform docs because I already know there's going to be a phalanx of 6 foot tall men praying for my downfall. And you know what? Giving myself an extra 2 inches realistically wouldn't help in a room full of men, but it might do something for me. I don't know. So that'll be fun. I am like really looking forward to it. And in other pieces of metalcore adjacent news, again, on reddit.com in the morning, I saw that Ben, the former vocalist of Invent Animate, is teasing something pertaining to music. I don't know what that is. However, considering that I have been manifesting a 10-year anniversary Everchanger tour, I'm not gonna say I hope that's what it is because, I don't want to jinx it. But if Ben came back for a 10th anniversary Everchanger tour, oh my god. I think I might buy the plane ticket for that, cuz oh my god, that would be so major. Oh my goodness. Even if it is just like, I don't know. I don't even know if they would do like a re-release of the album or a remastering of it or anything like that, or maybe just, I don't know, new songs for the presumably deluxe edition for Heavener that's going to come out at some point. I don't know when. I mean, I've never seen people releasing singles for a deluxe edition before, but it looks like that's what they're doing. I mean, I've already made my opinion known about the release scheme of singles for albums. I don't really like it these days, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to get into it. But I don't know. To have him back for a 10th anniversary tour, that would be major. Like, oh man, I really hope that's what it is. But at the same time, he could just be starting his own band, which would be fine, but then I would just be getting my hopes up for nothing. So that's kind of on me for being a silly Billy if it does end up that is what is happening. So I don't know. I again, 2024 is stacking up to be a great year for music for me. And I mean, I'm only getting that proven to me, not just like bigger bands releasing music or going on tours that I'm looking forward to, but also my local scene here, which I think is just flourishing. And I can't wait to see what comes out of the Jackson punk, indie, and metal music scene because I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, I'm basically out of steam now. I told myself that, this podcast episode is going to be longer than the last one, but I think this one is going to be just as long as the last one because yeah, that's it for today's episode. Yep, that's all that's on my list. I have nothing else to say. I'm trying to think, but yeah, no, that's really it. That really is it. Let's see. Oh, follow me on Twitter. Because if you're not following me on Twitter, you're only getting half the story. And I didn't forget about Drag Race this time. I just have nothing to say. That's really it. I like how the season is going. I'm excited to see how it shapes up. And that's really it. That's all of my Drag Race opinions for like the last couple of episodes have been out. I like it. 2 thumbs up. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you for allowing me to run my mouth. And next episode will be the 20th. I know from my previous podcast, we tried to do something a little bit special. I don't think I will do that for this one because I have no ideas. That might change, but it also probably won't. So yeah. I'll see you guys later. Ooh, peace signs never went out of style. We need to think about that. The peace sign has literally never, it's always been in vogue. Much to think about. That's all I have to say.